Greetings, YouTube. I just got back from the eye doctor, and you're all really blurry. Today's news piece comes out of Kabul, Afghanistan, and it involves rioting taking place in response to a Koran burning in Florida, here in the United States. And in this rioting, some 11 people have been killed and countless others have been injured. Now, the individual in Florida that burned the Koran, one Reverend Jones, made headlines last year when he threatened to burn an entire group of Korans. And was eventually persuaded to not do this. Well, he decided, what the heck, I've got these Korans sitting right here, I might as well burn one. So he did. Now, I'm completely opposed to book burning. Even books that you don't like, I don't believe in book burning. I have a great deal of reverence for the printed word. But I also have a great deal of reverence for the First Amendment, which means that it is this reverend's complete and utter right to burn any book he chooses, whether you think it's a holy book or not. That's his right to do it. Now, the reasons that he's burning this book isn't personal distaste. It's because he is a provocateur, or to use internet lingo, he's an attention whore, and he wants people to pay attention. Well, they have. Now, the killings that took place in Afghanistan are not the responsibility of Reverend Jones. There are some people who in Afghanistan who are saying that he is to blame. Now, I think you might make an argument that he is inciting a riot successfully, but I'm not really sure that that kind of a legal charge would translate well across international borders. Be a difficult charge to make in any way, shape, or form. However, I think it might be interesting to see if the families of the victims in Afghanistan could sue him civilly for inciting a riot. I think they might have more standing in a civil court, which has a lower standard of legal requirements. I suggest anyone in Afghanistan who has been adversely affected by this reverend, sue him. It is, after all, the American way. But the people that were killed in Afghanistan were killed by fellow Afghanis, which is depressing enough. And even if someone creates an intense atmosphere of anger and hatred, and they really want to push your buttons, how you actually react to that person's provocative nature is up to you. If somebody wants to make you angry, you can thwart them by not getting angry. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's going to be necessarily your first, second, or even third choice. But it's up to you. No one can make you angry. People can create an atmosphere that is more or less conducive to wanting you to be angry, but you still control those emotions of yours. You still decide for yourself how you are going to react to the actions of another. Because this reverend in Florida was not making an attack upon anyone in Afghanistan. There is no self-defense mode of thought here, folks. He did something provocative because he's an attention whore. And this provocative action on his part angered a whole lot of people, as it rightfully should anger them. But the actions they took in that state of anger are their own. No one made them hurt anyone. No one made them kill anyone. Those were their choices. And as distasteful as I find this reverend in Florida to be, and I find him very distasteful, I will defend his right to do what he did, burn a book. Because that's the First Amendment, folks. And I hold that ideal pretty much higher than any other in the world. I'm sorry that those families in Afghanistan had to suffer through this. I'm sorry that the victims that survived are living through what they're living through now. And I hope that eventually the people in Afghanistan can heal, and those that have committed these horrendous crimes are brought to justice. And I'm hoping that someday Reverend Jones will figure out what he's done is wrong. I'm not going to hold my breath on that. In fact, I figure that the families in Afghanistan will have learned to heal, will have learned to forgive those who attacked them and killed their family members, long before Reverend Jones ever figures out what he did was in really bad taste.